the Santa Fe APAC. About a year ago, I completed the first step in becoming a lifeguard, which was to get certified in American Red Cross CPR, first aid, and AED training. Over the summer, I got to work at Highlands Rec Center in San Mateo, California, where I grew up, as a lifeguard and swim instructor for ages 3 to 10 years old. This was a very rewarding experience for me, as I got to combine my love of working with kids alongside working at a pool and being by a pool, all summer long. This is my hip pack. I got it after I completed my lifeguard CPR training here at Cuesta College. I had to wear it all the times that I was on duty, so I was wearing this about 98% of the time I was over the summer. Inside the hip pack is a one-way air valve and gloves, and then sunscreen. The one-way air valve is very important when it comes to administering CPR, as it has a protection between the person and the lifeguard, which is somewhere in my hip pack. CPR is important on multiple levels. Presented by the Center of Disease Control and Prevention in 2018 for home wreck and safety, between 2005 and 2014, there was an average of 10 deaths per day in the U.S. from non-boating drowning incidents. Also, 1 in 5 people who die in the U.S. from drowning incidents are under the age of 14. Alongside the National Safety Council in 2018, states that a child can die in the time that it takes, can drown in the time that it takes to answer a phone call. And the number one way to prevent drowning incidents is to be certified in CPR and know how to swim. Today, I will show you the steps on how to perform CPR and the quick tips that I use when remembering how to the protocol for CPR. I would like to remind you that I'm not a licensed American Red Cross instructor, but if you would like to become certified, look into the lifeguard classes offered here at the Rec Center or at the Cuesta College, where I got my certification. Presented by the American Red Cross Association in 2018 and recently updated with new techniques, the proper way to administer CPR to a person is first to check the scene, ask that person if they are okay. If they do not respond, then obviously you know they are not okay, and have someone or yourself call 911, depending on your situation. You want to make sure that the person's head is tilted back so that they have air coming in through them, but you do not do this for an infant. Check for their breathing and a pulse with 2 fingers on the closer side of the neck to you for 10 seconds and watch their chest rise and fall as you listen for their breathing. If they do not breathe, obviously they need CPR. If they do not have a pulse, CPR. You first deliver 2 rescue breaths with your one-way valve, which you put over the head, like so, and this alongside the cap that goes on top. Before you deliver the second breath, retilt their head. If you do not see the chest rise on the first breath, then that person could be choking, which in that case you would begin the steps for helping a choking victim. To continue the steps for CPR, you interlock your hands, like so, with your heel pointed out. Lock your arms very tight, and then position yourself directly above the victim. Press down 1.5 to 2 inches or a little bit more, depending how big the person is. If it's a fat 40-year-old dude, you definitely want to press hard. And then you deliver 100 compressions with your hands, like so. And before, in 2017, this was changed from 30 to 2, with 30 compressions to 2 breaths for an adult, or 15 to 2 for 15 breaths to 2 compressions for an infant. To continue this process, you do 2 breaths to 100 compressions until someone with better knowledge, such as an EMT or a hired lifeguard status, arrives, or if an AED becomes available, in which you deliver the shocks. Or if you become too exhausted to administer CPR, in which case someone else who is also certified should take over. The tips that I use to help myself remember all of these steps is first, tilt the head back for the adult, but not for the kid, as that blocks their airways because of their neck. Before the ratio of 30 to 2, 15 to 2, it's a lot easier to remember 100 to 2. You want to use your heel of your hand for adults to press down in the center of their chest, but you want to use 2 fingers for an infant or a baby. You also want to make sure that you check the breathing on the neck for adults, but on the inside of the arm for a baby. And 911 first, always. I hope with this presentation you have found an interest to complete or think about getting CPR First Aid AED certification, that you learned the basics of CPR and also learned quick tips to help you remember the steps that are involved with administering CPR. I hope to use my experience working at Highlands to help teach mommy and me classes, as well as get my baby infant water safety and comfortability CPR certification classes so I can teach infant water safety classes over the summer. Thank you.